In this video, I'm going to share the number one hack, tactics, whatever, the most successful networkers or business people used in order to build the powerful network that they have and that I used in order to build the powerful network that I have today as well. I did not know this, I just did it instinctively, but it helped me so much. It will help you so much once you start implementing this as well. In a world of just wanting to get as much information, getting as much value, squeezing as much out of people as possible, right? Because we want the best for ourselves. This exactly comes short, providing value, just helping people without expecting anything back in return. And not just helping people, but just making people's lives better. This is the number one thing that you can do, should do, or have to, literally have to do in order to build your network, which is again, providing value and helping people without expecting anything in return. In order for you to truly understand what I mean by this is, I will just tell you the story of how I did it, of what I exactly did in order to get where I was. So roughly 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, even in May 2022 or June 2022, I didn't know anyone. I was joining these online communities, two in particular, and what I did was I was just seeing, okay, who's in here? There were a few guys from Germany, so I created a subgroup called Gentlemen in Germany or Gents in Germany, right? So I then had like a WhatsApp group with like 15 or 20 people out of this whole community who were all German guys. And then I live in Munich, so what I then did as well was just see, okay, who here is in Munich? And then we narrowed the group down even further to just guys who were in Munich. And then what we suddenly had was our group of like 4 or 5 people who were just from Munich. And what I would do is I would occasionally just organize like these little lunches, dinners, whatever, just all of these meetups. And this already was of so much value to all of these people. No one else did it. No one else wanted to take care of this, but I did. And what happened was that people automatically respected me a lot, already wanted to help me as well, just because I provided so much value to them, which is connecting them with other like-minded people in person as well, which is literally the most important thing out of all of these. Yes, online connections are amazing, but truly the most important ones are the ones that we have in person. So to take this a step further, what I did was I then started hosting my very first event a few months later in November, which was in Marbella, where we rented this huge 8-bedroom villa for a whole month. We did a monk mode. We took care of the organization, the transportation, the villa, the chef, the food, the gym, absolutely everything. And the people who came there loved it. The people who saw it loved it as well, because this is, again, literally what everyone wanted. And what I did was just giving it to people. I just provided so much value because everyone's busy. You don't have the time to book the villa, to see, like, to check everything with the transportation, to find the people who want to come. What you ideally want to is, like, you just want to come, you want to shop, and you want to meet like-minded guys and then have a great time. And this is what I did for people. I provided a lot of value, again, without even making any profit of this event at all. And what happened was that all of these guys afterwards saw this in the groups as well, or on Instagram as well. When's the next event? I want to come. And this next event was just a month and a half later, which was in Cape Town. And Cape Town happened like to be a huge, basically like hurricane of amazing coincidences that played out so well for me, because there was another event going on in Cape Town at the same time, and it was basically just successful guy after successful guy, multimillionaire, guys making multiple 6 to even multiple 7 figures per month, so making 2, 3, 4 million per month were there. And what I did was, again, I did the same. I basically built the infrastructure for everyone to meet up, which is I rented pretty much the biggest villa in the city. I took care of the food, like having a chef again, having food taken care of, building literally the clubhouse for everyone. Because Cape Town in January, there's like hundreds of online entrepreneurs there because it's just a hotspot, also through Iman talking so much about it. And what I did was basically facilitating a meetup location for everyone to just come in, meet up. And then we constantly had 30, 40 guys in our villa, even though only 7 guys slept in the villa officially. But this was of so much value to everyone that even though, again, there were multi-millionaires, like people having like 8 or even 9-figure net worths there, but the main guy was pretty much I. Not saying that, oh, well, I'm the best one. No, in fact, I was the brokest one out of all of that. But if you come to this level, you're not the guy, you're not the main guy, just if you make the most money. It's like, again, who provides the most value? And I did provide the most value just because without me, all of this stuff would have not have happened. So what then happened was that I organized masterminds in our villa, I organized parties, get-togethers, all of that stuff. And then people truly, truly started seeing me as this, okay, events guy. Danilo is the best. Without him, all of us would not have met. We wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have done all of this. And this way, I literally networked my way up from being the brokest guy out of everyone there, because again, everyone else was just multimillionaires, to being on par with them, like being friends with them on one level with them. And then I can especially remember one conversation I had with one guy who's now one of my closest friends, actually, who also lives here in Munich. And he said, man, how did you manage to get here, like with all of these people? Because usually they're very protective of who they spend their time with, and you're not in their circle, basically. And I told him, you know why? Because I have something that you all want, which is the access to each other, which is the access to this villa in person. Like without me, you would not be here now. You wouldn't hang out with all of these other guys that you didn't even know before, right? So I had something much, much more valuable than money, which is again access to the other people as well. And again, what I did was just providing value. I really had to bite the bullet of taking care of the organization, talking all of these people, dealing with hardships, dealing with guys who cancel last minute, all of that stuff. But I knew it would be worth it. And what then happened was me just building this network so rapidly, because I did what no one else wanted to do, and it paid off big time. Because this way I met everyone, and now my stock, my own like Danilo stock, the value that I can provide to other people is even higher, because I am now introduced to so many other multimillionaires, people who kill it in business, people have all of these different expertises, that I can now again connect to other people. I can say, hey bro, like whatever you need, I know all of these guys who have different expertises or different skill sets that I can now hook you up with. And what I then did to keep this even further was just connecting people and helping people nonstop, constantly. And therefore, I went from literally knowing no one, like really knowing no one, just being alone in this whole space, to having hosted 50, 60, 70 online entrepreneurs who all make more money than I did at that time in my place, in my villa. And I was the main guy, just because I was the guy who put all of that stuff together. And again, in order for you to truly understand the importance of that, is just by me telling that story, which is you can go from zero to hero quite quickly. You just have to provide value to a lot of people. This is kind of how I would explain it from this whole story standpoint. But from a much more logical standpoint, I will potentially, if this is wanted, create trainings on this as well, which is, if you look at it logically, what happens if you provide value and help people, let's just say even completely for free? Let's say you're a web designer and someone needs a template, someone needs help with their website or whatever, and you help them. You help so many guys nonstop, constantly, is you first of all get a lot of attention. And this is what happens in communities if you do it the correct way a lot, which is you get a lot of attention now because you help all of these guys. What happens if you gain a lot of attention is that people now start to see you more, you get more exposure. And if you're good at what you're doing, you're then also getting this expert status of, hey man, whatever I need from a website perspective now, from a website standpoint, I ask this person, because he helped me so much so far. And now that I worked with him, I know he's good. What happens is that if I have friends that need help with something website related as well, I start recommending this person as well, because he helped me, so why would he not help my friends? And therefore, just through you, first of all, helping people free of charge or whatever, just providing value to them, you get more exposure. You also then got your expert status, because people see that you're an expert now, and therefore people see, okay, this guy's an expert, so I work with him, I'll send my friends work with him, and therefore you make more money, which is crazy. And then you meet more people, because now you start getting introduced to more people. So by you providing value to a lot of guys, essentially what happens is you become more known, you build your personal brand, and you make more money, and you meet more people. So there's literally zero downsides to providing value, to being out there, to helping people for free, no matter at what level you are, by the way. Like this applies to you if you make 10K, but also this applies to you if you make 100K per month, or also zero per month. Yeah, so now I truly hope you understand why it is important to provide value to people, to help people, and not to expect anything in return, because what you put out there, you will get back 100%. I'm here currently. I get introduced to new people on a daily basis for Helix, for other things that I'm doing. And it is honestly amazing. It wasn't like this 2 years ago, but it is now. And this is something like that is going to pay off in the future. So please, in case you haven't done it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. and then I see you in the next one.